Good afternoon. My name's Matt.
I'm Dave. Hello.
And apologies to those of you which had joined us live just a few moments ago, and Matt hit the stop broadcast button by accident. So I do apologize. Now, what was the topic of conversation, and why would you want to hang around and watch the rest of this video or this live broadcast? And in short, we will be covering the fundamentals of an eBay listing. Now, like we said in the previous version, some of you may be thinking, well, hey, Matt, Dave, I already know the fundamentals of an eBay listing. We have title, we have description, you stick it on there. Some of the items sell, and it's all kind of a muchness. But actually, the reality is actually very, very different. In these times of change, and we need to, if we take a step back for a few moments, when it comes to the eBay marketplace specifically, is that for a company who only releases 2 updates a year, once in the spring and once in the fall, there has been a long-standing history of an awful lot of changes. Now, me and Dave, we spoke about this a few moments ago, so I'm not going to go into it because some of you which have already seen this, but just to give you like a brief summary of just some of the changes which have happened on the eBay marketplace over the past year, or maybe just a little bit further. So going a little further back, variations. I so wish that I had variations available to me many moons ago when I used to personally sell on eBay. They would have been absolutely lethal, as they are today. Multi-variations caused a lot of havoc when they were released, because in fact, even I know for a fact, it's pushed more than one eBay business out of business because of their impact within the different categories which they've been released into. Categorization, that was something which I'm sure that you went through with the eBay marketplaces when they started to unify and level out their categorization across all the eBay sites. And that was a very, very painful time, to say the least. We then had the introduction of GTIN. So what was that? Global Trade Inventory Number, Dave? Was that right?
Yeah,
something like that. Well, we all know it is just barcodes. But it doesn't matter if we're talking about EANs or JANs or UPCs, barcodes, that's what we all know them by. The introduction of those was a forced introduction because eBay wanted to promote your items in means like Google advertising via Google Ads, but the Google Shopping needs these identifiers, and of course the marketplace sellers, you with businesses like you which sell on eBay, just didn't have them available, who were not putting them in their listings in a unified way. So we had the introduction of barcodes, and depending on the category, other attributes as well being required as well. And I know back at the time when they were being introduced that they was a bit of a faff, like, I really need this data. eBay was screaming at me to put this information in, and for very good reason. And now, as Dave mentioned a few moments ago, we are going through a time of, I think Dave best explained this, Amazonification.
Yeah.
Of eBay. It's a bit of a funny one, but that's exactly what's going on. And to be honest, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're not suggesting at any point in time that eBay copying Amazon like for like and trying to compete with them. You can't out Amazon. That's the same, which has been going around for a long period of time. But there are positive things which eBay can duplicate. And they have made strides to do that. If we move on, well, Dave, last Christmas, active content policy, that was a fun one, wasn't it?
That was a big one. And it affected a lot of businesses. You know, a lot of people had the dynamic features in there, whatever that may be, iframes, JavaScript, whatever, it doesn't really matter. eBay clamped down hard on that. And then shortly after their autumn update, they released their sneaky little contact policy, you know, no links and no contact descriptions, otherwise we can still charge you fee. That came out again, bit underhanded, had a lot of template changes had to go ahead. And not only that, Matt,
previous changes as well.
Yeah, and then, but again, bringing this into fact, then Google Chrome came out and said that they were bringing out their HTTPS rules. So anything that was now not on a, an SSL would show up as being, It's been again, anyone who's who read this title and gone, oh, eBay listings did that months ago, years ago.
Yeah, put them on for sale. It's jobs are good. They kind of buy them.
eBay is changing, and a lot of people are not changing with it. Hence this webinar today.
Oh, the other one which they sneaked in, ratings and reviews. Now, those of you who sell on Amazon, you already know how lethal reviews are on Amazon. The thing is that they are already, okay, if you've missed the boat here, it's not too late, I want to stress this, is that they are already live on eBay. And those of you which know Amazon know basically listings who have good reviews and a decent number of reviews sell. And if you don't have good reviews or you don't have any reviews at all, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't work, in short. And it's just a straightforward trust issue. And those have, I hope that you already know this, have already been released onto eBay as well. So
actually, we've got a few comments before we jump any further.
Sorry,
we've got Maria with us. Afternoon, Maria. I hope we don't have to start fighting for a buy box on eBay. And then that emoji. Yep, totally agree.
I would actually argue that as of today, you are already having to sponsor your listings to get results. This is the point which we're trying to make is Maria's jokingly saying that. Sorry to pick on something, Maria, and I'm sure you know this is in the right frame, which is that technically you really need to be doing that right now because you need to be doing sponsored search. Because the thing is sponsor search sticks the items at the top, and if you're not doing sponsor search on eBay, if you're already doing it on Amazon, you need to be doing it on eBay. If you're already paying for it on eBay, you need to be doing it on Amazon as well. Okay, it's straightforward as that.
It is. You already are sort of competing. And whilst there may not be a physical buy box yet, you pretty much aren't. Your listing is your buy box.
Dave, can we just make a point there? While there may not be a physical buy box yet, hold on to that phrase, that sentence for a few moments. It'll make more sense in a few moments' time.
Absolutely. Then we've got Kevin who said, I'm glad most of my money comes from private label. Absolutely. I mean, I predicted this at the end of last year. I said 2018 is going to be the year of private label. More people getting their, building their own brands, getting, value adding to existing products, because that's where the competition is low at the minute. And drop shipping is pretty much dead. Everybody's done drop shipping. The market is saturated. You can't, and then you've got the suppliers now selling to customers as well.
It's very difficult to get a value proposition with drop shipping.
It's so hard right now.
White label, you have to be extremely clear on what you're offering a customer. So
absolutely.
Good points there for you.
And then we've got Jay as well, who said, I have a couple of decent new products that received a 1-star review and stopped selling cold. There you go. This is what we're going to be covering in today's webinar, because this is the reality. This is what can happen. And the reality as well is that you can get naughty competitors playing a little bit of sabotage here, and it can very much badly affect your listings.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, I read those of you which keep up to date with, say, Web Retailer, I read a horrific story. I mean, a horrific story over there of highly targeted abuse to a specific business. Terrible. How they managed to survive it, nobody knows, but
there you go.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's move this on to a more positive note. Okay, so we know that you're the smart ones. Okay, myself and Dave, we both know that you are the smart ones, which are going to be the ones which are going to adapt in a timely manner. And the thing is that we're going to have a look at a post in a few moments. And I urge you to go on and have a look later and then just read the comments on the rest of the site. I don't want you to be those people, okay? When you see change happening, and eBay has, like we said a few minutes ago, for a site which only has 2 updates, so like once in the spring and once in the autumn, the last couple of years have been rapid, and the rate of change is going to get faster. Getting to my point, there are always going to be those who moan, complain, and say, it's not what we're used to. It's not what it once was. okay? And they'll sit there and they'll moan their asses off and watch their business just fall down the pan, okay? Yeah. Whereas we and Dave know that you're much brighter. We know that a time of change is a time of opportunity, and the companies which adapt, like you, the ones who adapt win. Okay, those if you adapt first to the changes which are being forced upon you. Okay, and this is the thing: it's the marketplace. You're playing in someone else's back garden, and those rules and regulations, whatever they are enforced upon you. You cannot personally make change. You don't change what the changes are. You either leave or you adapt, and it's straightforward as that. So we all know that you're going to adapt.
And with that said, that's a great thing to talk about today, because we suspect we're going to see the spring update from eBay 2018 either this week, it could even be today, or next week. And the rumor that's floating around, and I'm pretty sure it's from uncredited sources, is that this update is going to be very seller friendly, very seller focused. We don't know on the finer details, but you can guarantee over an eSeller Cafe, we will keep you, with a full breakdown of all the news as and when it comes out. But that's what the rumors are, and we are expecting that spring update either this week or next. With that said, the sellers that win are the ones who are going to be ready, waiting for that spring update and be implementing changes as soon as it happens. The ones who are going to bitch and moan about it for the next 4 months are ultimately the ones who lose.
Now, Dave, I don't want to get into the topic of what I personally expect to be seeing in this eBay update, because I think this one will be a sweetener for the next one.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm actually going to say I've got no idea. I'm actually going to say some of the fees are going to change this time around. It's going to be one of those very rare instances. I reckon that's what's going to happen, because the sheer amount of change which is going to happen in the autumn, maybe beforehand as well, is going to be mad. And the thing is that if you adapt early, so whatever changes come out, okay, if you adapt early as possible with those changes, you will win. You will gain a competitive advantage by being first, or one of the first, to adapt to the changes which are coming in. And that's just the stark reality of playing on the marketplaces, or having a business which relies on marketplaces like eBay and Amazon for sources of revenue. And again, we all know that you're bright buddies, and you'll have eBay, you'll have Amazon, you'll have your own website as well. You will have a multi-pronged approach to generating revenue for your business. Some will be bigger, some will always be bigger, but you'll be taking a multi-pronged approach to revenue generation for you and your business. Now, coming on to point, our point here is that eBay, as of Amazon as well, has a long history of making changes over time, and it has always been the businesses who don't complain and just get on and adapt as fast as possible have been the ones which have seen the biggest impacts. And again, get the positive notes from this, from changes which are going on. Now, talking about changes, I would like to jump across to the screen. Now, I'm going to go very careful, because it was Matthew who pressed the incorrect button a few moments ago. So I will go very careful in which buttons I press. Now, this was a blog post which is on ecommercebytes.com. And this was literally published yesterday. So this was published on the 19th of February. We are now on the 20th. And I'm just going to read out the first sentence, well, the first paragraph. eBay will move to a new product-based shopping experience on a large scale this year to replace the current listing-based experience. And it will become the only way to shop on eBay, according to the company's CEO, Devin Wayne. So let's just put this into perspective just for a few moments, okay? This is him, the CEO of eBay, telling you in plain English, eBay will move to a product-based shopping experience this year. Okay, clear as day. There is no, I don't think there's any movement in that at all, Dave. And that's them shouting off at Wall Street.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'm just grabbing you a slightly better story, in my opinion. I am slightly biased, but yeah, no, because he also sat down last week at the Goldman Sachs Technology and Internet Conference and goes pretty much into detail, not only about payments, but about structured data and the direction of eBay. It's fascinating. And yeah, e-commerce bites are spot on. We've dug a little bit deeper over on the cafe, but yeah, it's
all right. So the number one, Easter Cafe or e-commerce bites, they're two news-based sites. We'll put links to both in the chat in a few moments and down in the video description afterwards. That aside, but keeping on topic of discussion, okay, which is that Devin also talks about the collapsing of the complexity. Look, and you've got to put yourself. I'm sure you appreciate this. Nobody in their right fucking minds wants to go through 10,000 iPhone listings. Okay, so I think Devin is absolutely right. Just show me the 4 best options. And his point of view is, they said in this example, eBay might show 4 iPhones rather than 10,000. The best price for a new phone, the best price for a used phone, the best price for a refurbished phone, and the best analog for the phone, like an Android phone at a different price, which I think is sensible. That is the problem with eBay. You have millions of listings or tens of thousands of listings potentially for exactly the same bloody product. And from a customer's point of view, it is a royal pain in the rear. And the thing is that it's now got to a stage where it has to change. Not the case of might change. It's more of a case of that it has to change. Okay, so again, I'm just going to clarify this in here. eBay will move to a new product-based shopping experience on a large scale this year. Okay, and now I'm going to go very careful on the thingy button down there. And
hey, we're still live.
Welcome back. So, the fundamentals of eBay. They have a history of changing. They're different today than what they were only just a couple of months ago. And in a couple of months' time, they are also going to be different as well. So, Dave, I think we've led the introduction to this quite heavily. Just to really just hammer home the point here is that when you play in someone else's garden, things are going to change. And it's their garden. It's their rules. Okay, and we're going to go off and look at eBay and a real-world example in a few moments. One point which I really do want to really just make and be absolutely clear about, this is exactly why you want a multi-platform approach to your business. You want eBay, you want Amazon, you also want your own e-commerce website as well. A whole contentious topic, I know with some of you, is that I do personally class as YouTube being the third marketplace after my previous experience of the last 15 months or so, or maybe longer now, with using eBay as, using YouTube as a marketing platform. It's absolutely lethal. If you want to find out more about that, we've done other episodes about that on the YouTube channel. But let's get on to a topic, okay? Now, talking about on topic, and we are going to keep this is quite high, okay? And we are going to focus upon the fundamentals. And the reason why we're going to focus just upon the fundamentals is because those don't really change, okay? It may sound daft. And those of you which joined us last week for, not last week's mastermind, the week before, we did the product research. This is the same kind of approach, and I want to share this approach with you because if you get this, you know how to, and you know how a customer finds you or your product, and you can understand that, and you can mold what you need to mold to basically turn it into your favor. So when we chat about earlier with Maria, for example, about we'll have to pay for the buy box on eBay. Well, the answer is that you pay for it right now. You should be paying for it right now through sponsored listings. Okay, and the same for Amazon as well. You can do sponsored listings on Amazon, especially if you're doing white label products too.
Yeah, some would argue you actually need to do them in order to get those first reviews in.
Yeah, it's yeah. Dave's hitting the nail on the head there. So give me a second. I'm just going to get the screen back up again. And again, Matt's going very careful at the bottom stop broadcast button. Right. You will see that I'm on the eBay site at the moment. You'll also see that I'm in an incognito window because I don't want any of my previous viewing to skew any of the results. Now, there is a little story which I just want to quickly share with you. It's a real life story. It's a story which happened this morning, in fact, which is that it's for myself. Is that I decided yesterday evening that I really need some better lighting here in the office for the videos which I create over the desk. Is that I get good lighting, but I really need another pair of light boxes. So I go on to, I didn't really consider Amazon. Okay, and the reason I didn't really consider Amazon because I just want the cheapest ones. Okay, this is the two different mentalities here. Is that I could have ordered it on Amazon and got it. What I've ordered this morning, potentially I could have had it this afternoon, but no, I'm in no rush for these to turn up. So eBay was really my own choice because of the dynamics which are going on. And you should already be thinking in your head, Matt's already telling me as a customer, if I want something quickly, I go to Amazon. If I'm not in a rush, I'm being a little bit maybe want a cheaper deal, I'm going to eBay. And that's exactly what happened with me this morning. So I did a search and went for it. And I chose one. And I went on and made the purchase. And the reason why I made the purchase is because it was a good price. It was £43.99. And also, it will turn up whenever. I'm not that bothered. It was a UK-based business, so I knew it wasn't going to be too long. But while I was doing the search, I did stumble across that. So I'm in the photo and studio continuous lighting equipment category. And then I found this product here, and I cringed. I just felt so sorry. I don't know who the seller is, but I just felt so sorry for them. Okay. And by the way, this was on page 2 of the results this morning. It's gone down to page 10. I didn't really go and hunt for it earlier. Okay, and I felt so sorry for this business owner. Okay, and the thing is that you might have 1 or 2 listings like this, and you may not have any bloody idea what's going on. Okay, and what am I talking about? You have, think about this. Okay, you have an eBay listing which has 380 plus sales on it, and some delightful customer has been just one customer out of those 389 sold. One person rated it 1 star. If that is not acted upon immediately, that's good as dead. That listing is just wasted. Okay, it's an awkward one. Dave, we were chatting about this earlier, weren't we? Like, who left it? Because if we go and look at the rating as well, there's no indication on who it was either. Yeah,
there's literally no information, no reason as to why it's bad, what the problem was. And you've got to think, if like, I mean, scroll up to the seller, he's got 300 nearly 400 of them. They're clearly not bad products because his seller feedback is not bad. You know, it's one of those. It would have shown up there if there was a problem with the seller.
Exactly. I just felt so bad for that business owner because and again, he's up against other listings which I've come up too far. In fact, there's the listing which I bought this morning. There you go. And mate, put yourself in my shoes. Okay, put yourself in the shoes of a customer. You're looking for a light box or a pair of light boxes, is this case. And those are, you've got ones which look very similar to that already, and you paid 75 quid from before, and now that was like 3-4 years ago, and you've come on here and got, wow, bloody hell, eBay, £43.99. Look, there's 39 product reviews on there. Okay, I didn't even really read the description, to be brutally honest. I just went on and made the purchase because 39 product reviews, really good price, fast and free, and I saw that 609 had sold. Job done. In my head this morning, job done, pay the man. The hardest bit was choosing the right funding source when I was going through the checkout. That was it. And the thing is that you may or may not be using GTIN. So when me and Dave were chatting earlier about the introduction of GTINs or barcodes and the requirement on the listings. And the thing is that you not only back then when they were being introduced, did you want them because your items would then be promoted via Google Shopping. Right now, if your listings do not meet the criteria for the reviews to be left or ratings to be left on your listings, you are at a serious, I mean, an absolute business critical situation if you're not putting EANs onto your listings or meeting the listing requirements. Now, I'm not going to go into the details, but go and do your homework. Go and look up EPID. So E for Echo, P for Papa, I for Indigo, D for Delta. EPIDs. Go and look that up in the help section on eBay and find out what is required for you to meet their eBay's requirements, because you cannot leave a rating or a review on a listing which does not have an EPID set, whether that's an EAN, GTN, UPC, etc., or there's some other bits which depend. Like if you're doing clothing, for example, it may not have an challenge. And again, you might not even have a barcode range yet. Well, then you don't have them, and then your products are unbranded or don't come with identifiers of some shape or form, then in short, you're royally screwed. And this is one of those times where it's not too late, basically. In short, it's still very new on eBay, and you can rise yourself up through the rating and review system on there, and it does massively impact whether purchases are made or not. And again, that was I've purposely shared my experience this morning with you from making that purchase on eBay, because that's what I saw. That is exactly what I was looking for. The moment I saw the review rate of ratings and the price, I was happy. I made the purchase and job's done. In my head, that's job done. It'll turn up tomorrow, day after. Well, it's eBay, so it's always late compared to Amazon. I'm in absolutely no rush, but I do feel that I've had a good deal, and I'm also pretty sure what's going to turn up, I'm going to be very happy with as well. So, Dave, we were talking about the fundamentals of eBay, and I want to stop pressing that one and go back on the screen. So let's think about, like myself this morning, sat here, cup of coffee. Right, I want a light box. I want a pair of light boxes to go on eBay. What and the process which I went through is exactly the same process which your customers go through, with just one or two minor deviations. And that is very, very simple, is that the vast majority, and I mean the huge, overwhelming majority of purchases are made by a search. I know kind of what I want. So I type in light box, so light box photography, which I can't spell, so I use that autocomplete. Keep that little twig in the back of your head, because I can't spell for toffee. So I use their autocorrect. Light box photography. Okay, so I start with a search, a text-based search. Okay, and then I press enter. Now you must already be thinking, okay, if you sell light boxes, okay, then light box photography, you want the different combinations of words. If you're selling on Amazon, you want to be going to Amazon and typing in the terms which you think a customer would be typing in, and looking at the autocomplete, and are those terms which you've got in your keywords, are those terms which you've got in your description, are those keywords which you're putting into your item specifics on eBay. You know where we're going with this one. Okay, first point of call, and we've already gone off into a little rabbit run of things which you should be doing, or at least be thinking about. Okay, so we've gone and done a light box photography. Now, actually, I've turned out and I've got all completely incorrect results. So I'm a bit lost. But I tell you what, while I'm here, actually, Dave, we can't see my screen, can we?
No, not at the minute.
Oh, what a helmet. I do apologise. So there you go. There's the autocomplete I wish I was talking about, because I couldn't spell photography, because I'm typing challenged. And I've typed in lightbox photography. So that's what we were talking about, the autocomplete on there. Need to be thinking about LED lightbox photography. You need to be thinking about these things. This is what we were saying just a few moments ago. Okay, so anyway, I've gone in there, and the second the customer moves from typing lightbox photography enter, the second they mash that enter key, okay, we have left the world of text. I am not looking at this side of the screen. Can I draw on this screen, Dave?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
it
even
might be a toolbar.
So basically, I'm not looking at this part of the screen at all. So where the titles are, fast and free, I don't even care. Completely irrelevant to me. What I am looking at is the pretty pictures down the left-hand side. And I now know, because we've already seen the product which I wanted, that I'm not really getting the results which I want. Okay, now this is quite an interesting circumstance, because normally
there's lots of borrowed images going on there.
Yeah. So I tell you what. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click into a listing. It doesn't matter whose listing it is, and then I'm looking at the categories for some hints. Okay. So like continuous lighting. That's what I'm after. Continuous lighting. Okay. Now I'm scrolling. Now we're in the right category. This is what I'm looking for. I don't want a green screen, but geez, it's pretty cheap. And also, I'm getting really quite impressed here so far as a customer, because I can see pretty stars. Remember, pictures. I'm not reading text. I'm looking at pretty pictures, and stars are quite distracting in a good way. So I'm scrolling down. I'm looking for, and I got that one there. And oh, hang on, but there's no reviews on that one. And I have, and did ignore the 1,800 cells. Okay, I carried on going down there as well. Oh, light box is not bad. 100. That's not a lot. 135 watts. Pretty cheap, but oh Jesus, £10 postage. You can piss off, because that's 40 quid. And then I hit this one here, and that's where I stopped, because I'd gone down and I'd gone, well, I don't want a green screen. I don't want this on the background. I looked at that picture, quickly checked the text to the right, come back down, ruled out again, got to this one, and I stopped. And I literally just stopped there and went 39 reviews, 1,250 watts. Being a bloke, obviously the bigger the number, the better. 609 sold. Went in and bought it. Okay. Now, before I wrap up, there was other things before we get there. Is that the key point here is that the second the customer makes a search, or I come to a category and I start to then browse, customers don't go, oh, studio photo, white, black screen, black drop stand, umbrella, lighting kit. We don't sit there and read the screen like word for word. We look at pretty pictures. We can understand and we can interpret pictures very, very quickly. And I got to those, and I'd looked to there and I thought, oh, hang on, there's no reviews. And I'd seen other stars on there. And then I got to this one here, and then everything just went bang, bang, bang. We're having this. So I'd quickly just go in and check the listing. I had moved from a text-based search to an image-based pattern. Okay, this is why images are so critically important. So I click across into the listing. Okay, and by the way, we're talking about photography boxes. Okay, if you sell batteries or toys or I don't know, telephones, it doesn't really matter, because the process is exactly the same. I come into the listing, I go, oh, what's that? And wow, huge, great big images. Okay, we're talking about getting the fundamentals right here. Put yourself in the shoes of Matt, the consumer, this morning who wanted a pair of light boxes. Did I not have an Uber, if not 100% confidence, which is probably about the best you can get, or 99.9% confidence in that what I'm ordering here is going to be pretty good. I'm going to get aluminium alloy versus iron. There's a one in here with the clips. To be honest, Dave, that was probably the photo which sold me on that. I saw that it was the twisty clip rather than the stupid push ones. I've never used one of those. I don't ever want to use one of those. I want to use one with a little twisty knob on them, because I've used those before and they're very, very good. So to be honest, when I got to that picture, I was really in. Okay, and they looked the same as before. Now, again, we had gone from a text-based search to find the items. Actually, ironically, I couldn't find the right, I typed the wrong search term, so I clicked into a listing, then did a category search. But when I was in the right category, I was in the right results. I went into a visual mode. We looked at the actual items themselves. And then we clicked into the listing, huge, great big images. I didn't really look at the description itself. Yeah, it's got nice, big, pretty images in there. And there isn't anything really scary in there at all as far as terms, conditions, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, and of course, then I went on and clicked buy it now and went and paid. Like I said, I joke not. The hardest part this morning making a decision about buying this item was which funding source in the checkout I was going to use. Now, let's wind back a few moments. Okay, so I'm going to hit stop up there. Let's wind back a few moments. Customer making a search at the top. Okay, and we're talking about the fundamentals, and that's all you need to do. Selling on the marketplaces is not hard. I genuinely, and you may be thinking, well, no, it's not hard either. But I tell you what, it is hard to do is to get everything right. Okay, and there is no big win here in anything. Okay, well, in fact, the biggest win you've got, which was actually putting your products on eBay in the first place, that is the biggest win. Besides that, everything else is incremental. They're all small things all combined together to get a good result. Okay, so let's think about those small things which come together to get the good result, and they are all very simple. This is fundamentals are simple. That's why they're fundamentals. Customer goes to eBay. They type in LED, or so they type in light box photography because that's what I think I want. There are items returned, and they were actually exactly what you would expect for a light box photography. They were light boxes, not light lamps or whatever they call softbox is the correct term for them. So I didn't know what the right term I was looking for. But if you think about the boxes which were returned in the original result, they were bang on. There were things like the autocomplete popping up, which will give you hints, giving me hints as a consumer, which will give you hints as a business owner, the person who's going to create the items on eBay, is then what keywords people are looking for. Remember, you can do this both on eBay, the autocomplete on there. You can do this in Google. You can use Google Trends, for example, to find the differences between the UK, between Australia, between the United States. Remember, Dave, we've talked about this in masterminds before, the difference between ladies' shoes and women's shoes. You put that into Google Trends, and by the way, if you've got no idea what we're talking about, Google Trends, go to the Googler, type in Google Trends, and type in two options. You want ladies' shoes and women's shoes, and then compare the differences between the UK and the US, because one of them is right up there for the US, and the other one doesn't even exist. But to be honest, me being and Dave being based here in the UK, ladies' shoes are kind of like the obvious words to use. But actually, so keywords absolutely key. Categorization needed to and needs to be bang on that item which we were looking at a few moments ago. Double listed in two different categories, and that listing had two chances of finding me where I was. Okay. It's a nice story, a nice journey to be sharing this one with you. Categorization, you can put two categories on each of your listings. Yes, you get charged twice, but you potentially get twice as much. You don't get twice as much exposure. You get 0.2%. Sorry, you're like 20% extra exposure from the people who are category searching, as we just found out a few moments ago. More experienced buyers, they'll do a search, can't find what they want, category, get in, and then they'll find the items which they're after very, very quickly. If you think about, if we go back to that category list page, if I wanted to drill down by maybe a used item or a subcategory or something like that, then, or an item specific of some shape or form, this is where item specifics really kick in. Down the left-hand navigation, I could have drilled those results right down to find exactly what I was looking for. Thankfully, I was in quite a generic category. Let me just quickly going back to eBay and go into continuous lighting. Let me get this back on the screen so you can see what I'm seeing. So we're in here. I could have chosen a brand, a bundle listing. I could have done that. And a bundle listing where we get lots of items together. Again, if I was starting out, that would have been perfect. For me, green screen, I prefer like kind of like a green screen because I know that I can do that with Camtasia Studio and it'd be pretty cool. But I actually kind of like the brick wall which I've got. So that's what we're having for the videos for the impending future anyway. Condition we've got on there and some other options down here as well. Now this category is, let's see if we can go down a little bit further to see if we get some other options in here. Yeah, you're getting types. In short, the hat. I take that all back. Power, voltage, fitting, light color. If I was a bit of more of a serious photographer, videographer, it's probably the best word, I would go in and look for the specific color temperatures and things like that as well. I'm coming back to my point is that you have the option to populate your listing with the data so that it can be populated not only in the categorization, but also in within the item specifics as well. You do that, no shit, Sherlock, via item specifics. When it comes to item specifics, to be brutally honest with you, you get 15 of them. If you're not using all 15 of them, you're left money on the table. When we did the mastermind 2 weeks ago and we did some product research on eBay, Dave, how many of those we've done?
Oh, so we've done quite a few of the product research webinars now over the years, but every time it's very rare that you'll I think we found one, didn't we, last week, who did a good 14, 15.
Yeah, then we got to the description and it all fell out because they didn't have
the description. Yeah. But yeah, everyone else was doing like 3 or 4 item specifics. And even then, like the MPN would be like, does not apply. And you're just like, why?
I had some cash on the table for one of the girls' school trips. I was throwing it away, wasn't I? That's exactly what you're doing. You're paying eBay. This is the irony, okay? You pay eBay for these fields and you don't use them. It's nuts. So coming to item specifics, if you are not using all 15 of the item specifics available to you, you are literally throwing money away, okay? Because you're not helping me find your products, okay? So if you sold the soft boxes, you've missed me, okay? Titles, no brainer. Keyword searches, they got to be good. There's many tools out there which can help you with that. We also, I'm not going to go back to the chat about eBay to change the search, blah, 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 and the product thing. A sub part of that conversation from Devin was basically fast and free shipping. Customers like it, whether you may like it or not, and we all know they're just being lied to. And they're really happy with it. I'm happy with it. I got free shipping. I don't care. I know the shipping's bundled in with the price, but I paid £43.99. That's all I paid. I don't pay for shipping on Amazon. In fact, I moan my ass. I'll get on their customer support if it's not here the next day. That's my situation with Amazon. eBay, I'm a little bit more relaxed. All eBay items are late because they're not here tomorrow. But gripes aside, eBay expects free shipping, fast and free. If your items aren't fast and free, well, you ain't in the list. eBay tell you they want fast and free. You give them fast and free. That's the basic run of it. Okay. When it comes to the ratings as well, look up EPIDs. They are virgin territory on eBay. It's one of the rare instances when you need to get onto that bandwagon as fast as possible. And it's been one which has been kicking around for a while now. It's still very early days. There's very few listings from the research which I've done which have got high numbers on there. It's not like Amazon when you've got listings with literally thousands of reviews on products. That eBay has not got to that stage yet. This is why I'm telling you, clear as day, product reviews you need to be doing, that they are virgin territory. We were chatting earlier about eBay making changes and things like that. That is one of them, okay? Whenever you see something new being introduced, you need to be right at the forefront of what's going on, because you will gain a competitive advantage by being at the front of that. And of course, then we get into this, and I'm not going to teach you the basics. Sorry, I'm going to teach you to suck eggs, okay? Think about your consumer. They get into the listing. Nobody reads a listing for 5 minutes. They just want to go and just think of an Amazon product detail page. In fact, Dave, let's go to Amazon. I will quickly go over across to Amazon.
That's what we're doing next week.
Are we doing that next week?
We're doing Amazon fundamentals next week. Yeah.
Softbox.
For the sake of
non-adult. Oh, look, Dave! I saved myself some money, and then look, I'm clicking on the sponsored result because that's the first one which I saw, and that's the one which we're having. Okay, so that was a sponsored result. So if you're not paying for such results on Amazon, you could have potentially have lost that yourself, because I would have gone in and gone, oh, okay. Actually, it's not Prime. Well, actually, it could be Prime. Not signed in at the moment. That's basically the same. No, on the same thing, exactly the same as what I was looking at, except for it's got someone else's logo on the side. Hey ho. Anyway, we were talking about bullet points. Sorry, we're talking about descriptions. Customers on eBay, or just customers in general, they have very little time. I had very little time this morning. I was buying box off. I was buying a pair of light boxes within about 5 minutes flat, and the job was good, and I was going to go off and start coding. Okay, that's what I had in my head. I've got 5 minutes to do it right now. I'm not asking the wife to do it because I'll just get pissed off with her. And it's one thing which I just need to myself. So I need to get in, I need to get out. Like I said, the hardest thing this morning was choosing the price, which funding method I was using in the checkout. Didn't even consider Amazon. Coming to the point of Amazon, bullet points. Actually, these are shit. I'm not using these, Dave. No, but they're not good. What was it?
Also, the bulbs on them are pretty weak as well. No, the other ones were much higher.
Amazon, yeah. I'm not going to show you a bad example. I want to show you a good example. Right, there's a good example. Okay, yeah. It's out of stock because we're not on the .com site. Great title, fantastic. Look at the size of that image. Okay, look at the kid there. It is huge banger sticks on there. Extra long for safe roasting. 5 or 6 bullet points we've got there on the screen. 5 or 6 bullet points. That's all you need. Give your customers very, very simple introductions to the item. Banana grams, Amazon. Let me just quickly look this one up as well. Again, two of my most, it's a pain in the ass. 2 of my most favorite examples. We'll have to do that one instead-ish. 2 very, very simple examples of item bullet points done well. Okay, Zip-It is the super fast 2-player anagram game that can be played in as little as 20 seconds. Okay, features and benefits. Okay, definitely a benefit. You can play it in less than 20 seconds. It sounds like a bit of fast action fun. And then you've got that's a benefit. Then you've got a feature, 24 ivory-like cubes on there, etc., etc. If the customer's interested in the item, they've got past the bullet points or actually bothered to go down the page, there's most likely a description further down. In fact, I need to click on that one there. There we go. So that was the bananagrams one. Scroll down, and there will be a full-blown description on Amazon. And by the way, you can have descriptions like this, HTML-based descriptions on Amazon, if you are willing to pay £100 plus per product. Okay, just give you a hint on that one. We're off topic on right now, but in short, nobody's going to really read the description because they've kind of sold themselves for the main product image and the bullet points. Thing is, on eBay, you don't have the bullet points yet. That might be in this seller's update, which comes out shortly. Dave, do you reckon that's going to be in this update? Bullet points?
Bullet points, I would think not. I think this one's going to be largely related around payments, and like I said, the catalogue. You never know; they might do, but I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay, sorry. I steered us off topic. I
know we've somehow ended up on Amazon.
We've ended up on Amazon, but we come onto Amazon because of the bullet points. Is because a customer can speed read what the product is about with the product's images. So with that said, in with you in mind, when it comes to a product, can your customer speed read the list of ones? This just uses photographs, so the photographs are good enough, to be honest, for when this one kicks in. Can you give your customer a couple of bullet points with some really good quality images so that they can make an informed decision whether that item's the right item for them or not? I'm not going to comment on their lack of use. Well, they have some item specifics in there. Fantastic. They've hit the nail on the head as far as brand nobody's perfect, does not apply. You do not need to be doing, you should not be doing that in there. Think about the basics. Okay, a couple of bullet points, very quick to read. And if somebody reads the bullet points, and stays on the listing, they're going to carry on. They're going to look at the rest of the images. They're most likely going to go on and read the rest of the actual item description itself. Okay. I'm not going to go off into other topics like adding alternative or extra payment shipping options and things like that, because they're not necessarily the fundamentals of an eBay listing. Okay. I wanted to cover as much as possible in what is now being, perhaps, as long as I'm willing to cover this topic with you. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't want to talk too much of this topic. I just want to get the fundamentals in. Okay, think about the customer's flow from them making a search and going from text mode, and how you can adapt. How can you leverage that? You know the customer is in text mode. Okay, you know that they're typing. What tools do you have available to you to make better titles, item specifics, descriptions, multi-variation options, which we didn't cover? How can you leverage the customer being in text mode? Okay, then they're into a category and they're in visual mode. They're looking at the images. What can you do with your images to make it exceptionally clear to a customer like myself that I need a pair, or I want a pair of soft boxes? How can you convey that information to me very quickly? What other things can you do to ensure that it does get my attention? Let me just go back for a moment. So I think we're probably in the wrong category now. Yeah, we're in the wrong category. Remember that listing with Dave when I scrolled down, and in there we had what's the photography? Let me go. Continuous lighting equipment. Let's scroll down. I think that's my item being shipped off eBay at the moment. Scrolling down. Okay, there was the item which I purchased. We had lots and lots of stars next to it, 39 product ratings. Okay, good product ratings, fast and free. How many of these little tags can you get? Think of it as a game. Imagine if you're playing an RPG game and you get awards for doing stuff, or maybe you're a Facebook and you play the stupid things where you blow up the little dots on a grid, and you get awards and stuff like that. Think of each one of these little tags as being an award. Okay, the more awards, the more badges of honor, which you can wear on your left breast, the better. Okay, that's basically, you're like a robin, bright red breast, and you're saying, this is the best, come and see. And that's exactly what that listing did to me this morning. I need to get that on my screen so you can see. That's exactly what that listing did to me this morning. Okay, that told me that was the best one. Okay, estimated Thursday, brilliant. Plenty sold, good ratings, good price, good images. I didn't even bother that. That was an LED one, and it was far more expensive in comparison. Okay. We were talking that we had customers in a visual mode. Okay, so and that visual mode carries across to the actual listing. Remember, I clicked into that listing. You saw me do it a few moments ago. Great big bloody images. Makes your customers make an informed decision that that item's the right one. When it turns up at the door, I'm going to have 100% confidence in what I've got in my hands here is exactly what I've been bought on that flat screen in front of me. And that's exactly what your customers are thinking as well. Is what I'm buying on this flat screen exactly the same what's going to be turning up at the door? Because last thing you want is a disparity between those two, because it's hard to overachieve on that side. And of course, we spoke about item specifics, we spoke about reviews, we spoke about description, format, and things like that. And that's it. That's the reality. Like we said, we're not talking about anything complex here. It's all pretty bloody straightforward, to be honest. But there is a very big difference between doing like the bare minimum and doing the best possible. Me and Dave, we spoke about this earlier. We have yet to come across the perfect eBay listing. Me and Dave can give you two very quick examples. We saw them a few moments ago. Bananagrams, which is like the top-selling game on Amazon, and Jungle Sticks, if you look at on the Amazon.com site, two fantastic examples of listings. I cannot give you a single one off eBay because nobody besides you, which are listening to this right now, has the balls to go to the lengths which is required to succeed, to get to that level. Remember, those badges, those reviews, those titles, the subtitle, the fast and free, the top rated plus, okay, they're badges. They are badges of honor. Some people won't go to the level to collect all the badges, and eBay tell you that that's what they want. In plain bloody English. Do it. That's what you need to do. And by the way, we're not suggesting that you should now stop your business and do nothing but updating product listings. Obviously, that would be a perfect world. We appreciate that you've got pack stuff, you've got other things going on in your office. But the thing is that if you do a couple of listings a day, over a week, Dave, realistically, 2 a day?
Yeah, you do 2 a day.
You work for yourself, so that's 7 days a week, so that's 14.
14 a week.
14 a week without really trying. We're talking about, we're not talking about do like 5 a day and really push yourself. We're just saying do 2 a day and do them really well. And you know exactly which ones you should be doing. You should be doing the ones which are already selling really well. In fact, you could maybe half it. You could maybe choose like 1 a day, do your best listing, and then the next best listing, the next best listing, and then do the worst listing, something that's sold in absolute ages, and really sparkle it up, really polish that turd so that it does look like it's going to sell. You give the think, why is nobody finding it? Why has it not sold? And just go to town on it. So 2 listings a day, 14 a week. If you have staff within your team or you have a team, get it into your team to get them to do it. Lead by example. Create the best listing you can as possible, and then share with the persons within your team why you feel it's the best one. And it is transferable skills. You can teach somebody else to do this for you. They may not come back and do it perfectly first time, and that's okay. We're humans, we're smart creatures. We will pick up from our failures and move forward. So 2 a day, done really well. That's all you need to do, and that will make a massive difference in what you're doing. Because, like I said, me and Dave, we can give 2 examples off Amazon immediately, straight off our head. Fantastic examples of listings done well. eBay, can't give you one. Never seen one, ever.
I think that should be an open challenge, actually. If you think you have the perfect eBay listing, I'd like you to post it in the UnderstandingE members group over on Facebook. Matt will go and grab you a link. But on that state, Matt's absolutely right. Two items a day, totally doable. And once you've done them all, what do? You start again. You start again right at the beginning. Because as we've seen today, the perfect eBay listing today looks very different to the perfect eBay listing from 12 months ago. eBay's adapted, lots of new rules, lots of new things going on. So keep ahead of the curve. Keep that optimization going. Don't just quit like so many do. Once they think that they've got the perfect listing, keep optimizing. That's how you're going to win. And keep your eye on, like I said, when eBay tells you, eBay's great. Amazon will tell you anything. eBay gives you 2 big updates twice a year and sort of explains to you what's going to be happening and when this has to be in place by.
Yeah, and I genuinely really like eBay from that point of view. The level of communication has always been fantastic. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do think it's going to hit the wall. We'll go to poo over this year as far as updates and stuff like go, because that statement which we saw from Devin earlier, that's not happening overnight. That's serious changes which are going to go on with the eBay marketplace. And you should not, let me make it absolutely clear, you should not be looking at these changes with dread. You should be looking at these changes as opportunity. eBay has had a long history of lots and lots of changes, and it's the ones which adapt and take the advantage in hand are the ones which win and still around today. And again, hey, you must have made some changes because you're here today and you've been selling on eBay, I strongly assume. Now, quickly, I want to move across to some of your questions. And yes, Dave, YouTube really does hate your links.
It does, doesn't it? It does something weird with the redirect and just doesn't
work. Right. Let's have a quick look. I'd love to see widget chimp update to regard the mobile listing look. We've already got those. I'd say something about eBay reprices, but I don't want to give away trade secrets. Getting more and more valid though. Jay, I think you're onto a point here, is that I have, and I'll pass my opinion on this one, is that I have for a very, very long time classed as eBay reprices as rubbish. Shouldn't waste your money on them at all. Totally not worth your time, effort, and energy, because there's just been no way. I remember the CTO of a software company which I used to work at. We sat down and we spoke about an eBay repricer, and we could just not figure it out. There was one category. There was two books and media. Those media. It was like books, DVDs, and CDs. And if you're in that category, you could do repricing to a degree, but even then, it was pretty sketchy. I actually feel that those views which I had back then, in the next year or two, will be incorrect, and repricing for eBay will be a big thing. So, Jay, I think you, if you're doing repricing on eBay right now, I think you're at the bleeding edge of what's going on, and I give you a thumbs up for that. That's totally for sure. Hannah says, eBay reviews are dreadful, not clear for satisfied customers, but motivated complainers will seek them out. Rubbish. Hannah, I agree with you. I have had an absolutely shite experience with Sleep Eve, a big mattress company, and I can guarantee you I have written the crappiest review possible, and I will be following up with a not a very good video review as well. The thing is that there's always going to be someone pissed, okay? And the thing is that I'm looking at the list here in the background. It says 39 reviews on that. There's always going to be someone annoyed, and it's the same on Amazon. There's always someone which has had a bad experience, okay? The thing is that there's having a bad experience, and there's having bad experiences, okay? And then when I see a product which is maybe even got 4-star, but it's got X number of reviews, it is a good product, okay? It's to the point I didn't even read them, the same as on Amazon. So, yeah, Hannah, that is a concern, okay? And you should be concerned about those as a business owner. If you're not keeping on top of these reviews going out, then it is going to be a challenge, okay? Because remember, we spoke right back at the beginning of that listing, and I felt so sorry for that guy. 389 sales and 1 shit review. Done. What you do? Nuts. Let's have a quick look. Excuse me. Jay says, I wonder if there's a way to get eBay reviews from the eBay API so we get notifications. No, there isn't. Trust me, I've looked. Hannah says, I have enhanced HTML listings on Amazon for free as on brand registered. So those of you which don't know what brand registered is, you're going to go to the Googler, you're going to type in Amazon brand registered and find out what's going on about, and can I get free HTML descriptions. That's Hannah. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Or you can pay for them. I think it's about 130 quid or something like that. Jay also says, eBay guaranteed delivery program finally changed in the USA not to require eBay shipping label, ShipRush or Shippo. Makes it far easier to opt in. Again, this is one of the things that these pilot programs, eBay say, eBay or Amazon, because Amazon are doing the same thing here with seller fulfilled prime delivery. If you didn't know about seller fulfilled prime delivery for Amazon, go and look that up as well. It's definitely worth your time and energy in researching that as well. Coming back onto the topic as far as eBay basically tell you, look, to be part of this program, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z. You go and do X, Y, and Z, okay? Because it will get you results. That's the reason why you're doing it. And results mean more sales. More sales mean more money. It's just basically the reason why we do it. I can tell you point blank, you know your own motivations for doing what you do. Okay, I was going to go off on a slight bender and moan about customer support, and that's why I employ people to help me with customer support, is because customer support for eBay customers is just nuts. eBay sellers, you guys are switched on, you're motivated, you know what you want, and you're very, very clear, and there's no screwing around. But eBay customers are not the brightest of bunches, and Dave will go off on a tangent here on that topic. So let's wind ourselves back in. Jay also said, now that UPC is required, it works much better. Absolutely. The problem, again, take away from you, think about my journey. from, and we're gonna go now. I'm gonna wrap up the bar. I just want you to think about it in your head and be very, very clear about this. Your customers type words into a search box, and then they get results. Those results have pretty pictures on them, and some of them have little badges on them as well. Some of them have 5 stars next to them. Some of them have fast and free. Some of them have top rated seller. It's like irrelevant what the thing says. You want those stars. Okay, they are badges of honor. They are little flags waving at me or to you as a customer. Buy me, look at me. Okay, and that's exactly what happened to me this morning with those light boxes. Then, well, again, I'm ignoring the details like the listing title and things like that, the basics on there. But then we then get into the listing. It's got great big images. I get confidence. You good customers get confidence. There's lots of images in there. I then know that when I go on and make the purchase, when your customer goes on and makes a purchase from you, that the item which turns up on their doorstep is going to be exactly the same as what they've seen on the flat screen in front of them. And it should all just be like this morning. It was a simple case of like, which payment method do I choose when I go and check out? Like, was I going to choose the PayPal balance or was I going to choose the bank account? Choose the bank account. That was the hard bit because it wasn't the default. I had to drop down and choose that. I had 5 minutes to make the purchase this morning. In wrong category, found the right category, scrolled down, found the item which I was after, which met the 2 soft boxes, 39 reviews, kind of checked the images, scrolled down a bit, whatever. Purchase, and then I've got the notifications while we've been sat here, it's been dispatched. That is how eBay works. That's how Amazon works. In fact, the only difference between eBay and Amazon right now, as far as like probably that shopping experience, is that on Amazon, I would have gone down the left-hand side, done a search for what I wanted, gone to the left-hand side and clicked Prime. And if it ain't Prime, I'm not buying it. And then gone through the items and then chosen the nearest one and then expected it here tomorrow morning. And that's the difference between eBay and Amazon, is the one search filter on the left-hand side. And I'm about to get ram raided. You have to excuse me. I'm on the video.
With that said, we should really begin wrapping up.
Apologies for that. As you can tell, I've got 2 kids, and they've just come home from school. So I'm not apologising for that. I'm sure you've probably got kids as well. They are nuts. Anyway, it's time for us to wrap up. I really do hope that you found this chat, aka Mastermind, useful. I would hate for you to leave us now and take 0 action. The point of a mastermind is that you take action. 2 listings done well will net you good, I want to say big results. In fact, actually, they will net you big results because, like I said, me and David, we've never seen the perfect eBay listing ever on eBay. They get everything right you need to get right. It's all there in front of you. eBay tell you what they want, give them what they want, because that's the bits which they promote to their customers. Even if you have to pay for it as well. Remember, sponsored search results, going right back to Maria's question at the very beginning. Pay for it if you need to. Screw it. Get in there. It's about getting results. It's about getting the sales through the door. And you don't have to do anything special other than spend the time to get to that level, A grade level at the top. It can be done. I'm sure someone's going to get up there someday. Okay, be one of those people on the leading edge. Anyway, Dave, it's time for us to wrap up. I would like to say a massive thank you to Dave for joining us here and passing in his insight as well. And a massive thank you to you as well for joining us for today's mastermind. Remember that we do hold these masterminds at the same time every week. Matt in the future will go very careful of that stop broadcast button, which is up there. And I do apologize to those of you which joined us first thing around.
Right next to the stop sharing screen button, which is very easy to confuse.
My bad. I do apologize. You can all laugh about it now. I want laughing earlier, to say the least. I hope you found it useful. Remember, these masterminds are held live every week. Dave, what's next week's topic?
Next week, this is the Dissecting the Fundamentals of Amazon. So pretty much what we've done today, we'll be looking at Amazon. Matt's already sort of let a bit of a secret out that there is such thing as a sort of perfect Amazon listing. But with that said, there's still lots that you can work on, lots that you can utilize. And yeah, hopefully you'll find that useful. Before I go, I want to remind you that if you have not already, please scroll down slightly on the screen right now, and you should see a nice big red subscribe button. Click that one and click the little bell next to it, and you'll be notified when we go live every time we go live, which is usually around Tuesday at 3 p.m. in the UK, 10 a.m. in Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and some god-awful time in the morning in Australia. Also, while you're down there, click that thumbs up button.
Indeed. And thank you very much for joining us. I'm going now. 2 listens a day. Very easy.
Well, it is.
Indeed. So for myself, Matt.
And for me, Dave.
Cheerios.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.